Hi, welcome to another episode of 2 Minutes on Tuesday. Tonight we're going to talk about 3 ways that you may be able to save a little bit of money on your homeowner's insurance. And how this topic came about tonight is I've got some clients that are unhappy with the amount of inflation and how much everything is costing. In fact, one of my clients said the other day, they can remember where they were pushing their grocery cart in the grocery store, and they remember when they could fill the entire grocery cart for $100, and they said now to fill that grocery cart is over $300. And same thing with like gasoline and buying cars and buying houses. I mean, everything has just gone up. And so they're looking for ways to save some money. And so I've got 3 tips. The first one is really simple on your homeowner's insurance, and that is if you've got a really low insurance deductible. So like if you got $100 or a $250 deductible on your insurance policy for your home, if you were to raise that policy, say to $500 or $1,000 or $2,500, you have to understand that the lower your deductible, the higher your insurance premium typically is. And then the higher your deductible, the lower your insurance premium is. So there's a balancing act. Now, you want to be careful if your cash reserves are such that if you had something catastrophic and you raised your deductible clear up to $2,500, and then you said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I can't come up with $2,500. You're probably better to have a more moderate deductible than you are to crank it clear up to $2,500. But again, you want to consult your professional insurance agent and get their advice. That's what they do for a living. They're going to be able to tell you what they think is best for you. Also, and this happens a lot, you want to explore bundling your home and your auto together. Now you're probably thinking, well, I already did that. Well, a lot of people don't. And I'll give you an example when they don't. Young kids on mom and dad's insurance policy for their vehicle, and then they age out. They're not allowed to be on mom and dad's insurance anymore. So what happens? They call the same insurance agent and same company where their parents have their insurance on their vehicle, and they just get the car insured because they're already a driver with that company. Then maybe 6 months or a year, 2 years later, they buy a house. They get a different insurance company to insure the home, but they're so busy they don't quote the home and the car together. So they got the car with this insurance company, they got the house with this insurance company, and if you bring them together and bundle them, there's some economy of scale, there's some savings, basically meaning there's a discount when you bring them both together. So you want to explore that if you haven't. And then 3, and this one's not going to make any friends when I tell you this, but it's important to know because some of you are going to be agitated when I say it. But you want to be very careful about turning in small claims. And what I mean by that is if you're the type of person that you're out mowing your grass, you're pushing your mower, and the blade on the mower grabs a rock and kicks a rock up, and it hits the vinyl siding and it puts a little tiny pinhole in the vinyl siding of your house, size of a dime. If you're the type of person that every time something little like that happens, you're going to call your insurance agent, it's not going to be long before either 1, your premium increases, or 2, if you do too many claims too quickly, the company's going to drop you. They're going to not keep you anymore. And I can't speak for every company, but it's pretty common that if you're excessive in doing insurance claims, and some people feel entitled, hey, I'm paying this insurance, that's what it's for, which I don't disagree. I mean, you're paying coverage and it has that coverage. But the more you use it, the less likely you're going to have an affordable premium, and the more likely they're going to drop you and you're going to have to go find someone else. And the challenge today is with the CLU reports, the claims loss history reports, there's a record of how many claims that property has had, which may make it harder for you to get insurance with another company, or your premium may be higher again. So sometimes it's better not to turn every one of those small claims, those dinky little claims. You probably don't want to turn all those in if you can help it. And cash out of pocket, paying those things is probably safer. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing that I would be very cautious of. A lot of you, to save money on your insurance, will want to lower the coverage amounts. So I'm going to tell you that if you bought a house 10 years ago, there's a chance you don't have enough insurance on your home. So you don't want to lower it even more. And why would I think you might not have enough insurance on your home? Well, you have to think about what your house would have been worth 10 years ago, or what you would have paid for your home, versus what's happened to house values in the last 10 years. They've shot way up. Your house probably doubled in value in the last, say, 10 years or close to it. And if you lost your house, think about this. If it caught on fire, if a tornado tore it down, if something significant happened that destroyed your house, you'd be hard pressed based on the cost today for replacement. By the time the contractor gets the material and by the time you pay a contractor, I mean, it costs so much more money to build a house today than it did just 3 years ago, 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago. So be careful. One area you want to be very careful of is reducing your coverage, because what's the idea of insurance is to protect you against a catastrophic loss. So, and some of you have the luck that as soon as you would lower your coverage, 6 months later, what do you have? A massive claim, and then you're like, oh my God, why did I do that? I've just buried myself in a hole. I've cost myself all this extra money because you lowered your coverage to try to save a few bucks. So again, my recommendation, this video is only to create some awareness of some areas that you can look into. I'm not telling you to do any of these things, and I would recommend that you have a phone conversation with your professional insurance agent if you're looking to find ways to save money. And understand they want to help you, they want what's best for you, but they got to know what your goals are, what your situation is. So you may have to share some information with them for them to be able to best help you. So I'm Sam Miller, REMAX Stars Realty. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you get to save a few bucks. And if you got questions, always feel free to give us a call, 740-397-7800. Until next week, have a good one. Bye.